You know how some people just live to make your life miserable? Yeah, that's my HOA. Or more specifically, Karen McAllister, the self-appointed queen of Willow Creek Estates. I'm Jake, a graphic designer who moved into this cookie-cutter suburban neighborhood 2 years ago, thinking it'd be a chill place to work from home and maybe grill some burgers on weekends. Boy, was I wrong. It all started when I got a letter, typed in Comic Sans of all fonts, slapped on my door like a scarlet letter. Dear resident, it read, "Your porch is an eyesore and violates Section 4.2.1 of the HOA bylaws. Remove clutter within 48 hours or face fines." Clutter. My porch had a wicker chair, a small table with a citronella candle, and a couple of potted ferns. I mean, come on. It looked like a Pinterest board for cozy minimalist. But Karen, the HOA president with a perm straight out of 1985, had decided my vibe was a threat to the neighborhood's aesthetic integrity. I laughed it off at first, figuring it was a mistake. Then I saw her peering over my hedge the next morning, clipboard in hand, scribbling like she was auditing my soul. That's when I knew this wasn't just a letter. It was war. I tried reasoning with her, knocked on her door, all smiles, holding a coffee mug like some sitcom dad. "Hey, Karen, got a sec. I think there's been a mix-up about my porch." She opened the door just wide enough to glare at me through her bifocals. "There's no mix-up. Jacob," she said, spitting my name like it was a curse word. "Your porch is a disgrace. We have standards here." Standards? Her own front yard had a faded flamingo statue and a mailbox shaped like a lighthouse. I bit my tongue, nodded, and went home. But my blood was boiling. I wasn't about to let this power-tripping busybody dictate my life. If she wanted to play dirty, I'd play dirtier, just smarter. The next day, I did some digging. Turns out, the HOA bylaws were stricter than a nun's ruler, but they were also vague as hell. No excessive decorations and maintain a tidy appearance were the kind of lines you could drive a truck through. So, I decided to lean into it. If Karen wanted my porch to be tidy, I'd make it so pristine it'd hurt her eyes. I spent a weekend researching minimalist design, ordered floating shelves online, and hit up a local nursery for bonsai trees, those tiny, zen-looking ones that scream, "I'm cultured." Deal with it? I added sleek pebble bowls, the kind you'd see in a spa, and mounted a solar-powered lantern that cast this soft, Instagram-worthy glow at night. By Sunday, my porch looked like it belonged in Architectural Digest. I even swept the steps and power washed the railing. Take that. Karen, Monday morning. I'm sipping coffee on my wicker chair when Karen storms up my driveway, her orthopedic sneakers squeaking with every step. "What is this?" she screeches, waving another violation notice. "You think you can mock the HOA with this nonsense?" I leaned back, smirking. "What's wrong?" "Karen bylaws say tidy. This is tidy. You got a problem. Take it up with the board." Her face turned the color of her flamingo statue. She huffed, muttered something about standards, and marched off. I thought that was the end of it. Spoiler, it wasn't. A week later, I get a certified letter certified, like I'm being served for a crime. The HOA was fining me $200 for unapproved modifications to my porch. Apparently, my shelves needed prior board approval. I checked the bylaws again. Nothing about shelves. Nothing about bonsai. This was Karen flexing, pure and simple. My buddy Mike, who lives down the street and moonlights as a lawyer, told me I could fight it at the next HOA meeting. But I was done playing nice. Karen wanted to escalate, I'd give her a spectacle. I started planning. First, I checked the bylaws for loopholes. Turns out, there was no rule against temporary yard signs, as long as they weren't offensive. So, I ordered a custom sign. Bright red letters on a white background: HOA can kiss my bonsai. It was petty, sure, but it felt so good. I planted it in my front yard at midnight, right where Karen would see it on her morning power walk. Then I upped the ante. I found a local artist who did murals and paid her to paint a subtle but savage design on my porch wall, a bonsai tree with roots that looked suspiciously like middle fingers. It was technically art, so the HOA couldn't touch it. The final touch, I rigged a motion sensor speaker to play a soft Zen chime every time someone walked by my porch. Passive-aggressive maybe. Satisfying. Hell yeah. The morning of the HOA meeting, Karen lost it. I was outside watering my bonsai when she marched up. Violation notice in one hand, phone in the other. Probably live streaming to her 3 followers. "You think this is funny?" she yelled, pointing at my sign. "You're making a mockery of our community." I shrugged, channeling every cool guy movie trope I could. "Karen, I'm just expressing myself. Freedom of speech. You know." Her eyes bugged out, and I swear I saw steam. She stormed off, vowing to end this. That's when I knew I'd won. At the meeting, I showed up with Mike, my bylaws printout, and photos of my porch looking like a Zen garden. The board, mostly retirees who just wanted to go home, couldn't find a single rule I'd broken. Karen's case fell apart. The fines were dropped, and my sign stayed. The twist turns out, Karen's own lighthouse mailbox was unapproved. Mike pointed it out, and the board turned on her like vultures. She was fined $50 and had to remove it. Poetic justice. Baby. Life after that was sweet. My porch became the talk of the neighborhood, not as an eyesore, but as a legend. Neighbors started stopping by, asking where I got my bonsai, and I'd just grin and say, "Online." But the real trick is sticking it to the HOA. Karen's still around, but she avoids my street now. My sign's still up, faded but proud, and every time I water my bonsai, I feel like I've won a tiny war. So, what do you think? Was I petty, or was Karen asking for it? Drop your thoughts below. I'm curious where you stand on this HOA showdown. The end.